Chapter 25 starts with Jean having a meal with his wife but seems distracted. He is distracted by the thought of fighting you and is still thinking of ways how to beat this monster that he's never seen before. Kay's assistant notices you always practices and doesn't take any time to rest, not that he needs it though. Still, he should at least take a day to recover. Sometimes I wonder if he might be a robot, said the assistant. He hasn't made a single friend, always practicing alone and boxing according to the coach's instructions. It doesn't even look like Yu's interested in boxing. Even if he wins the title, she can't imagine him looking happy at all. Jean's coach notices that he's spending more time meditating lately, and that's probably because of that boxer Yu. Jean responded that his condition is very much excellent, but excellent isn't good enough to face you. He then said he would fight 3 boxers at once and that he needs better than excellent. Kay is now talking to you, saying that there are 5 top pound-for-pound boxers in the world. First, junior welterweight Yuto Takeda, middleweight Fabrizio Santorino, cruiserweight Victor Grigorievich, then the heavyweight champion Aaron Tide. And finally Yu's next opponent, lightweight Jean-Pierre Manuel, a genius boxer who became champion as soon as he debuted at the age of 20. Out of the 5 boxers, Jean is the best in terms of perfection in boxing techniques. Jean has an incredibly long reach, an incredible 79 inches, that's 6 inches longer than Yu's. Add that to the speed of jabs Jean is throwing, one cannot comprehend. It means that no boxer can escape his reach during an entire match from beginning to end. When facing him, it feels like he is fencing with his incredible reach, and not just that, Jean is also skilled in his decision-making and makes perfect decisions as an outboxer. A boxer who freely and nearly perfectly uses southpaw and orthodox stances. As Jean won his match, his performance was perfect from start to finish. An interviewer then asked Jean about his performance and said that he made some mistakes, but in his next match he can't make a single mistake because it will cost him his belt. By the next match, of course, he means against Yu, the number 3 ranked lightweight boxer. Kay says to Yu that Jean is a true boxer, unlike any other boxer he has ever faced. To reach the pinnacle of boxing technique, surely gonna give you a run for his money. Jean closely analyzes and watches Yu as he is fighting Kasim and says that his boxing is beautiful. Again, Jean is having a meal with his wife and does not notice that his coffee is spilling all over. His wife nags him because he is lost in thoughts about boxing again, but still Jean is focused on the fight, saying it's annoying. His wife's incessant chatter is annoying, showing a cold face. Jean's coach said while being interviewed that Jean is like an artist and spends his entire life pursuing the beauty that comes from the perfection of techniques. He always meditates first before training, lasting around 1 hour at least, or even meditates the whole day. He meditates to wake up all of his senses and sharpen them before going to battle. The interviewer wanted to see what it was all about and tried meditating with him. As he was close to Jean, he noticed a unique aura about him. The coach then asked if he could feel his heart, and yes, indeed, replied the interviewer. The coach said that was enough and imagined an untrained person could hear their heartbeat just by focusing, and then imagine what a master of meditation would feel. That with his control he seeks to reach the pinnacle of technique. But all his efforts are useless against him. He needs more intense focus. He then asks 3 boxers to hold knives and try to attack him all together as a way to train his senses. After he beats them all, he says that this won't work because there's no murderous intent. Jean now asked a question about what boxing is to him. He replied, the pursuit of beauty. That the belt is confirmation that the one who wields it is the one closest to achieving perfection. I pursue perfection. The perfection which is alone sublime in its beauty. When he saw Yu's boxing, he saw the perfection that he'd been chasing his entire life. The next scene shows police officers talking about a rumor that some guy has been going around and beating thugs in the area, a superhero wannabe or something. The police officer said, "That's not all. After he beats the thugs, he's been drawing their blood as well." As Jean goes home, he is seen painting something with what looks like the blood of the thugs, then saying to himself, "It's not enough." Gene's coach was surprised by how his boxing moves changed, and it was extremely sharp, improving at an amazing pace. The coach questioned this and asked Gene if he was fine because he looked tired lately. Gene replied, "Is that how I look? I'm in the best condition I've ever been in." The coach now confirmed his suspicion but still trusted Gene and just said to not get himself too deep. Again, Gene was outside looking for thugs to fight and draw blood off. He analyzed his opponents, their movements, weapons, and what their next move was. He was beating them up and then heard a pistol being loaded, the worst-case scenario, he said. He then realized that he was about to die and his senses kicked in like never before, so dialed in he could hear every fiber in his body and then reacted so fast to take down the gun holder. Finally, he said he finally reached it too. He then goes home and finishes his painting with the thug's blood, saying at long last it's time to go meet him, with his painting looking like a devil or more so you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be updated on our latest posts.